Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube. This week I am doing a relationship Q&A questions. Wait, that's what a Q&A is. Oh my god. I did a Q&A on my Instagram account and I've had a lot of questions come in, so I'm going to go through those on my phone and answer some of the juicy ones. There's some good questions in here, so I'm going to have fun with this one. Let's get straight into it. Alright, first question. Do you ever want to have kids? Yes, I think so. I'm not fully sold on the idea. I hear that when you have kids though, you don't regret it. So maybe, I'm definitely not in a rush, but I think I'll like my own kids. I'm just not really a kid baby person. Like, you know how some chicks get like so like clucky when they see kids and like, oh my god, I want a baby so bad. I'm just like, kind of annoying. I'm addicted to the will they, won't they part in the start of dating. Then I get bored. I love that. Go girl. That's usually like the guy thing, not to stereotype or anything. I think that's really common. Like, I think that's probably less attachment to the actual person rather than the validation you get from being able to find out if they actually like you or not. Because once you kind of like win, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I feel validated in my ability to get someone to reciprocate the feelings, and then getting bored, you obviously just haven't met the right one yet. How do you get out of a toxic relationship when you love them? Oof, not fun. Been there myself. You know, like, you know when it's not right and you know when you have to leave. It's just having the courage and being in a space to be able to actually get out of there. I always find space is literally the best thing for any, whether it's you're going through a relationship, being over, breakup, exes, ex-friends, whatever. The best thing is always space. Like, you don't have a clear mind when you're around someone. Like, once you get out of something, you look back and you're like, oh my god, I was so like stuck in this mindset and headspace and unable to see clearly. Would you date a guy that isn't into fitness? So I definitely want someone who prioritizes their health and fitness, like they're active in some way, whether that's training at the gym, whether that's surfing, bike riding, like whatever it is, just someone that appreciates being active and healthy. They don't need to be counting macros and calories or anything like that. That's my thing. A guy's intimidated by your strength. Do you like to date equally as active people? So yeah, that kind of like same thing. I don't think people are intimidated by my strength. Like, I mean, it would be ideal if the guy can lift more than me. That's not really a prerequisite. I think, yeah, like I actually had this thought the other day in the gym and I never really doubt myself or anything about myself. I was in the gym and I was lifting like some heavy ass weights and I literally thought to myself, I was like, oh my god, do I look manly? Like, am I unattractive because I can do this? And then I snapped out of it because I'm like, oh my god, lifting weights is badass, and I'm like very curvy. So how to deal with earth-shattering heartbreak when he wants someone else. That hurts my heart to read. I'm so sorry. Most people don't set out to hurt other people. Like, everyone's kind of got their own best interest at heart. If you're with someone and they've moved on really quick, or they left you for someone else, or they cheated, like, that is a blessing. Something that you'll see upon reflection. You don't want to be with someone like that. If you're not together, then you obviously weren't right for one another. If they've moved on really quick, then maybe they met someone else that was right for them. It doesn't mean that you are any less of a good quality human. It just means that you two specifically weren't meant to be together. The best thing to do is like get off social media, like don't follow these people, focus on you, accept that it's going to hurt, like accept that you're going to feel some pretty shitty negative emotions and there'll be some work that'll need to go into overcoming that, but know that you 100% will be okay. There will be days where you really don't think you're going to be. You are totally going to be better off and something better will come your way, and then you will realize why all that shit had to happen in order for you to be where you are today. What do you look for in a partner? I mean, I definitely want someone who's like committed to taking care of their bodies in some way, shape or form, likes going on adventures with me, and someone that's driven and takes action. I hate when people say they're gonna do something and then they never do it, and it's just like, wow, then they just don't hold their word, and that like really annoys me. Someone that makes time for me. So I don't know if you guys have done the 5 love languages, like this quiz, online quiz that you can do. We all have parts of the 5, but we prioritize parts of them differently. So mine is quality of time. So if I have a boyfriend and they are like super busy and whatever, that's totally fine. But if they don't make time for me, that's when, yeah, I tend to have some issues in relationships, arguments, fights. I just don't feel valued. I would want someone who is like funny and like a bit quirky, because I'm like weird and quirky, and I just want someone that like gets around that and can enjoy my weird sense of humor and the weird little quirky things that I do, and isn't kind of like awkward around them. And banter, like I need to have good banter with the person. Nothing worse than like a vanilla kind of, sorry if that's me, but like, I don't know, I just don't like boring people. But they also need to be calm, because I'm kind of like a bit extra, I can be a bit over the top, I can get a bit anxious, so I need someone that can like balance that and calm me down a little bit. If I had someone that was equally as like fast paced and thoughts going crazy and whatever, I just think that would be a little bit intense. So I would definitely need someone that can bring me down and level me out a little bit, and someone that's really supportive of what I do. Posting what I post on Instagram and working on my own business has made relationships difficult for me in the past, so someone that's really supportive of that. Just someone that's kind and cool and just a good person, and obviously attractive, because duh. What is your deal breaker? I don't know if I really have a deal breaker. Like, my deal breaker is if there's no chemistry, if there's no connection. Like, I'm not going to settle. I would rather be alone and single than settle, and I've definitely been in a place where I felt like I've kind of done that before, and it was just shit. Like, you just know you're not aligned to that person, but you're just kind of there and it's convenient, and it's like, yeah, that's not a good place to be. So settling and not having that spark. My sister recently went on a date with a guy who showed up completely drunk. Has this ever happened to you? No, but I've done that. Okay, no, I haven't, but I remember a date I went on and I was like really nervous. I was quite young, I think I was like 22, and I was really nervous, and I hadn't been on a date before. And this guy, he was older, he was like 30. This was when I was living in Melbourne, and he'd flown down from Sydney for business and was like, meet me for a drink. And I was like, oh, I literally have no self-confidence. So I drank like a bottle, like half a bottle of wine, and went and like had told myself like, I'm not going back to his hotel room, like nothing's happening, I'm a lady or whatever. And I just got like really drunk and ended up going back to his hotel room. Good times. Can't believe I just told you guys that. How to choose the right one. You know, you freaking know when it's the right one. You know when it's the wrong one, okay? Listen to your gut. I'm like such a big advocate for this, because I have been in headspaces before where I've been like, is this right? I don't know if this is the right relationship for me. Obviously it wasn't, because when you know, you freaking know. If you're unsure, I'm sorry, but no, it's not right. Like, you can have doubts, yes, but you shouldn't constantly be questioning whether you're with the right person. I just really strongly believe that. How do you feel about cheating, and what would or do you do if you are cheated on? Cheating's fucked, like it's not okay, and I would not forgive the person, and I would get the fuck out of there, because life's just too short to, this is my personal opinion, but life is just too short to stay with someone that you, like, once the trust is broken for me, like that's it, you can't come back from that. That's what I think anyway. How do you gauge whether they actually like you without straight up asking? Patience. It's fun to play the dating game. Like, I know it sucks and you'll be like, oh, is this a waste of my energy? But just be yourself and enjoy like chatting to the person. Like, if a guy's investing time in you and messaging you, then typically a sign that they're interested. Don't get too hung up on it and like be all weird about it. Just chat to them and be normal and have fun. And if it goes somewhere, cool. If not, like, that's cool too. It's just, don't overthink it, especially in the early stages. Just like roll with it. I'm all for like open communication. I feel like at my age, which is 29, that things do move a bit quicker and you have a better radar for detecting whether someone is like a fuckboy or a player or whatever. And I also am like not here to kind of waste time. Like, if I like someone, I have a connection with them, I'm gonna keep chatting to them. If they don't invest time chatting to me or make an effort with me, then it's like, cool, that's so fine. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to make an effort or like overthink it and let it kind of overtake my, like consume my thoughts, because I'm a freaking busy person. Like I have so much work to do. That's my priority. So if someone comes along and fits into that, makes an effort with me, takes me on sweet dates, is thoughtful, cool, like I will definitely be open to that. But I don't know, I just feel like when you know, you know. You're a total babe. How do guys treat you? Do they drool over you or treat you with respect? I have only really had like a couple of bad experiences. Obviously I get like ferals sliding into my DMs all the time. They're not the kind of people I would date anyway. But yeah, like just like normal. Like I don't have any, like I don't have like a bunch of guys chasing me. Like I have a few people that chat to me, you know, a few people that invest time and energy, but they're all very respectful. I think you get the treatment that you tolerate. Like if you're gonna tolerate someone treating you like shit, guess what? You're gonna be treated like shit. If you have a lot of self-respect and self-love and see yourself in situations that you are about to be treated poorly, bail out. Like you don't have to stand for that, and people respect that a lot more. Keeps on asking guys out at the gym. That's kind of tricky because I feel like when you're training, it's like headphones in the zone. Also, if it's awkward, like if they have a girlfriend or you ask them out and then you're like both members there just like, hey. I mean, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. I would like just strike up a conversation in passing or whatever, do the groundwork, build a foundation, maybe find them on Instagram, have some chats, reply to their stories, you know, just be cute and just see if there's any vibes there, because how do you know when it's not right? You just know. How have you met people? Tinder setup. Okay, so everyone that I have met, like I've met a few people at like the fitness expo that I was at, and a few people that have like messaged me on Instagram. I've like actually gone on a couple of dates with people that have Instagrammed me. Siri. She's just like repeating what I've said. This is so awkward. Bye Siri, go away Siri, fuck off Siri, get the hint Siri, I'm not into you. I'm getting a lot of questions on one thing. So what went wrong in your last relationship? Reasons you feel your previous relationship did not last? What happened with your ex? Yeah, okay, so I guess I answer this one. May as well. So we kind of had like an on again, off again relationship over like a year. He was the first person that I dated like pretty much straight out of my 3-year like long-term relationship. And I just was not in like a committed headspace. Anyway, shit happened. Fast forward a year basically, and we started dating. And we dated, like we went out for 3 months, and it was just like a toxic relationship. Like we would fight all the time, and I literally went to bed crying most nights. And I'm so not the kind of person, like if something is affecting my happiness and it's not me and my decisions, it's because of someone else, that is still within my control. So I'm not gonna stand by and let someone be the reason that I'm upset when I know what to do about it. So I broke up with him. We just weren't the right match, I guess. This is all coming from my side, this is my perspective, but like he thought I was really selfish. I mean, I thought it was selfish of him to send dick pics to other girls. But I guess we all have different definitions of what selfish is, right? So I found that out after we broke up. That's why we never got back together, because I have more self-respect than that. How do you feel about ghosting? Ghosting sucks. No one wants to be ghosted, because you can't help but question yourself and be like, what's wrong with me? Like why did they stop talking to me all of a sudden? Especially if you've been talking, it's kind of like random. Like in the same breath, people, you don't really owe anyone anything in the early stages anyway. Like that's just how some people deal with being like, oh, like we've been chatting for a bit and like had a really good like chemistry from the start, and then the more you've talked, they've kind of realized that maybe they don't really have those strong feelings. So some people just think it's better to ghost and like not have that awkward conversation where you're like, hey, like we're chatting and I'm just kind of not into you, versus yeah, they'll just ghost because they think it's easier and kinder. I think as women, we do get a little bit hung up on needing that closure or like needing to know why, but just be strong enough in yourself to know that like there are people, probably people that you've had in your life before that weren't right for you. So why would it be any different for anyone else? Like we aren't going to be the right person for everyone. Know that it's not anything you've done wrong. It's just people have different preferences for like how they have that connection with someone. Are you actively dating at the moment? Yeah, I mean, like, it's been 6 months since my breakup, and I think I really needed that time to sort myself out and focus on my business. And like, my business is still my priority, my training, etc. But I'm definitely open to meeting someone and seeing what happens, but I'm also not really in a rush or a hurry. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I have those moments where I'm like, oh shit, I'm like turning 30 this year. I feel like, and I say I feel like because it's a pressure from society thing, I feel like I should be getting married and having kids, but I don't actually want that right now. So I mean, yeah, like, I'm definitely like, I'm chatting to some people and stuff, nothing serious. Yeah, I'm open to dating if you know anyone. There's a lot of questions about like how to get over a relationship and dealing with breakups, and like, damn, they're awful, they're so hard. And I think the most important thing is like, don't try and rush through getting over a breakup, because they're really hard and they're really awful, but often people will throw themselves into something else, like work or sex or partying, going out drinking, hooking up with people. And that's fine if that's your coping mechanism, but I think that's just very avoidant behavior, and it can, if it goes on for too long, you're not actually dealing with it. So I think it's really important to give yourself the time to grieve and feel shit, but dust yourself off and push yourself to try new and different things. Like, often there's, you know, those things that just like are heart-wrenching that remind you of them, and you're like, oh my god, I'm literally never gonna get over this. But you will, and you do, and we always do. But doing things that maybe you guys didn't do together, like trying different cafes, hanging out with your friends, spending a lot of alone time. I used to go on little like day trips out and go on hikes and hang out at the beach, because that's what I love to do. Those kinds of things will make you just feel really empowered and confident in yourself and your ability to just like be alone and know that being alone actually isn't that bad. It's actually freaking awesome, because you get to pick the Netflix, you get to make food just for one, you get to sleep in the whole bed and spread out and wake up when you want to wake up. Like, there are so many cool things about being single. I think we're all often in such a hurry to meet people, and it's like, just enjoy that alone time, because if you want to meet someone, you'll make it happen eventually. Anyway, I think they're all the questions I'm going to go through. I don't want this to be too long and boring, but there's probably some good shit in there that you guys enjoyed listening to. Make sure you come back next week to tune into another video from me. If you guys like these style Q&A videos, relationship stuff, send me questions, Instagram comments, etc. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I will see you guys again next week. Mwah. Bye.